Hey.
By the way, you son of a... Shit. You're fucking dead. Yo. Yo. What? 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 By the way...
What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? No, I'm searching. Searching? Did you lose a contact or something? Listen. I see. Hey. So... Indeed. I see. Well?
Wait. Huh. Well. Well.
It would seem... Right. So... Well, Makoto. Makoto. What? Correct. That's right. So then... It would seem... So... Just a second. Hmm? I see. Goodbye.
Seems like...
Most suspicious.
Seems like...
Monokuma, appear! No, no, you can't go any further! 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 Monokuma! No, 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 you... No, no, you... No, no...
Seems like...
Such ignorance.
Hey, you bastard! I mean, seriously?
Yeah, totally. That's right. Well... Because, I mean... Aw.
Listen to me! That's wrong! Ha 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 ha! Count on it! Got it!
Sayaka Mizono, the ultimate pop sensation. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them... This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. For Sayaka, there's so here's the billion-dollar question.
Huh?
Count on it! Got it!
Huh? I'm so...
Help me!
Huh? What's your... Here we go.
Very strange. So in other... So that's it. Hey, listen! Hey, you bastard!
Oh,
You... Is it, like...
there's no way to think about this in a
You know what I mean.
completely unforgivable.
Give me a break. What?
You. Da, 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 da. Mr. Naegi! Without a doubt. Yes, indeed. Was it a fairy? Huh?
I feel as if...
Most suspicious. Yes, in. Was it? Huh?
I...
Most suspicious. Is this part? Completely unfor. That's it. I'm sure of it. Come on, come on.
What the heck? What?
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say it's time for the class? Now then, please go through the red door.
Listen to me!
Is everyone here? Okay then, please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the where all your
Well then.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Makoto. Oh!
Shit.
Well now. Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates? Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
I assert that the one who was murdered was...
Yeah, and the murder took place
In the bathroom. So it seems like the killer must have taken her by surprise. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss...
Yeah, and the murder took place
In the bathroom. So it seems the killer must have taken her by surprise. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object, without a doubt. That!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, it's wrong!
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally...
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was this.
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we put.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not gonna change.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something.
You really believe it?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the... But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it. He did it in secret.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice.
So, in other words, two people.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together?
Good grief.
Oops! Did I? Anyway, I didn't go to the... So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then...
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just... No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because,
Just spit it out.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. Which means we have...
You stayed over? We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. So,
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together?
But I'm a girl.
You are?
But if it wasn't either of you...
Actually, there is...
Oh, yeah, that's true!
Why didn't you say so?
Well, because... they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did.
No, you're wrong. So, that's how you...
Hold on. It's still too early because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, and until we unravel that little mystery,
Bewildering?
something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So,
Yes. Why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
the reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there. Precisely. It's simply beyond...
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so
No. There are other reasons.
I would like to hear the...
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first.
Yeah, then they ran after her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand. The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
Shoot!
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Sayaka was first, she then fled
Into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Shoot!
The incident took place. Sayaka was first, she then fled into the
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer, because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka.
To finish the job.
It was you! We already know the answer. The incident took place. Sayaka was first, she then fled into the
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, it's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck. Huh? My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because, but the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door? Everyone should have known you can't.
The killer could easily make that mistake.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's...
And yet?
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room,
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary that.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by... The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got...
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting...
Definitely something I wouldn't do. Since
That is...
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but
But what happens if we can't decide on who we...
Well, why don't we just vote?
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone's...
Does no one have any other thought?
Oh! As a matter... Oh. You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just...
Oh yeah. Okay, well... I was just...
Yes.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up.
I don't think so.
Then...
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite...
Fine. How about they could have knocked and said they...
No, that...
Oh! Trying to argue against me? Hello? What?
Shoot! I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? knowing what she'd been through.
What if her being scared was...
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at... I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see... When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I'd better make sure I rip the paper out.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique. But even the classics can be surprising. Oh, and I should also mention... Huh? Which means... only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have...
Then either it was Makoto who lived there.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I did.
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But what?
The note was likely her way of... She must have slid it under their door to let the...
If you got an invitation like that, then the ultimate...
Of course! I'm only into...
But can we be sure? And honestly, even if they did, I do not... Huh? Would you like to? Very well then. Pay it. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were at, it specifically says, my room. I see. So then they would have gone to Sayaka. Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note, they would not have any connection.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto got in the note. It specifically says, I see. Then they would have gone to... Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, it's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got... switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would... Plus, their rooms are right next to each other. So then the one who switched the names was...
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the...
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader she would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched. But why would she switch? She wanted someone to come to the room she was in. And also...
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms.
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was, whoever she invited over came in and attacked her! We figured it out! We know who did it!
But we still don't know who it is!
Sayaka fought with her killer there. Perhaps the answer to our previous question.
Yes, I think...
Then...
That reminds me. There was a
Oh yeah. What's the deal?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break...
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on...
I see.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to, but she grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed it, but then the culprit...
And they killed her.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting broke, the culprit, and that's when the first...
A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong. Actually, no. Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like...
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down!
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't... If you were going to attack with the sword, you...
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how...
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed this. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack?
Which means whoever...
I think I get it! So the culprit came in. Then they took the knife and attacked. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. Then, after they broke her...
Sorry, but I don't think
What? How the hell can you not think that?
because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part...
I got it! You're talking about the palms of her hands were perfectly clean.
How can you know that?
Like I said before, the gold... In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot... It's safe to assume that's because there's really no way she could have...
Maybe she washed her hands after she...
Sorry.
Why do you say that?
No. I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's, in other words, at nighttime.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, my.
You're no different.
I'm not sure what...
Insult, obviously. So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, the killer is the only one. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
I got it! Sayaka?
But we already said that the...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was...
And the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the...
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch. Maybe the reason she was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplate. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, and by committing the murder there, instead. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out. If the target knew she had switched rooms.
So all that's why she switched the name?
But doesn't that plan seem... For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell...
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable. I'm sure Sayaka realized this.
Plus, she's a totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar.
Wait, then you're safe.
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan, she launched her attack with the knife. That must be when her wrist got broken.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she...
Just hold on! Because... Hey! You're being super, but wouldn't it be awful if I...
Oh, yeah.
Makoto, right now you just need... If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka...
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong. There still might be one clue left.
Dining. Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote 11037.
Well, before we get too, can we really be sure that...
I got it! Her left index, that could only be because she used...
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight.
Sure. I think we can... What the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in...
Of course.
Oh!
What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and...
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely... Looking at it now, you...
Whoa. You might have found...
But even if that really is an N0...
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Oh my god.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that...
No, it's not. She wrote that message on the wall behind. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, try it for yourself if you want. Write some...
That sounds like one hell of a stretch. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must and to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood.
But one piece burned off.
And the killer didn't notice. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric?
Yeah, I mean,
That's right. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way.
You're right. That alone isn't.
Are you finally starting to understand?
Yeah. I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to. You'd need the key to get in. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking. The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty.
So the only one who could get the person in charge of the...
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone...
But if you can't get past the gate...
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball?
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
but how would you use it?
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch.
Someone through a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi? Hifumi had the key. This was because the killer was able to hit the switch without... Once they got the incinerator going...
Hey, come on!
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, if the killer had been on cleaning duty, the...
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator, pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no...
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think... I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident, and with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But now here's what happened. The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. And from what we can tell, she attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword. And that's when she lost her grip, finding herself cornered. The killer went after her. What they didn't know was that my bathroom, Sayaka knew. So instead, the killer and stabbed. Here's exactly what happened. And but with what strength she had to keep the killer from noticing. And with that, was Sayaka dead? First, they took off their shirt. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of it. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt, but the trash room was blocked off by... So they came up with a plan to use The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the for any normal person. And that's because the killer... The crystal ball, which then quickly roared... Having destroyed the final piece of it, but there was one thing they... Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this. Isn't that right? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to...
So, Leon,
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories without evidence. It's all bullshit.
well then, I guess this is as good a time. Makoto, I believe... When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, instead, they must have...
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid, 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 stupid. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Shut up! Stupid! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Where's your proof?
This should prove it. The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool...
I mean... Oh, yeah.
And that must be what he used. There aren't...
But the toolkit in my...
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room.
Only the boys got toolkits.
Okay, then...
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very...
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Leon, would you mind show... The screwdriver will show some...
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
And if you say you used it for something else,
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid!
so, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. You all have a lever in front of you. Oh, just to remind you, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to... Okay, who will be chosen as the Blackened? What's it gonna be? Yahoo!
Huh? Hey, hold on.
But...
You son of a bitch!
I didn't have a choice. So, none of you are any different! I was just... Hey, come on!
No matter what happens...
Ba-bum, ba-bum. Phew!
That's enough. Calm down.
Ba-bum, ba-bum. Yes, indeed.
Pun... You mean... Wait a s... Yeah, that's it.
Is that okay? Do you understand?
So...
Oh,
Unveil. Hey, Thrills, chills!
I'm begging you! Please, don't...
Hey, come on.
Stop!
Now then, I prepared a...
No!
Let's get... Extreme! Well?
Damn you!
What the heck? Say what? Well... Hey,
Shit.
What does this mean?
Hey,
Thrills! Chills!
hey, Just a second. Makoto. Listen. It's true. However, so... Certainly. Anyway... Right. Correct. Hey. What?
Uh-huh. What are you gonna do?
Sir,
Listen to me! Ha 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 ha!
Hey, come on.
I see.
You got it! Huh?
well,
Stop talking.
are you honestly?
So,